Hey there, it's Susan Pierce Thompson, and welcome to the weekly vlog. I am in the San Francisco Bay Area right now, being with family as my aunt passes away into the next world. I heard a couple days ago that she'd taken a turn for the worse, and in my morning meditation, the urge just came to me strongly to drop everything and fly out here to be with family. In particular, my first cousins, who I was raised with, and I don't have any siblings, and we were close growing up. And my aunt was a beloved, beautiful, supportive person in my childhood growing up, and I just knew I had to be here. So I bought a plane ticket for that night and flew out. I packed my dinner. I packed my breakfast for the next morning. When I landed, I stayed at the airport overnight in a hotel and then rented a car and made it to a Whole Foods and weighed and measured my meals off the buffet there. Went to see my family, spent hours and hours and hours and hours by her side, holding her hand and loving her. She's close. She's down to 5 breaths a minute and not eating, hardly drinking. And it feels precious to be someone who can know when it's time to drop everything and be with family. I'm reminded of my grandmother, who passed away when I was 19. And I wasn't even invited to be by her side because I wasn't a human being who could have been. I was deep in my drug addiction at the age of 19 and mired in addiction. I was doing cocaine the night that she died. And I believe, but of course we'll never be able to prove or disprove, but I believe that her soul came to visit me that night after she passed and saw the condition I was in, and I believe that she helped marshal forces that resulted in me getting clean by a series of ridiculous flukes that happened, including some strange, cute guy that I met at a gas station in the middle of the night taking me to a 12-step meeting for drug and alcohol recovery on our first date, and me just at that moment having surrendered that morning and being willing to live a life that was clean and willing to turn over a new leaf, and my recovery journey began. But had I been someone who was already in recovery, someone who was already not mired in addiction, I would have been by her bedside as she passed. I was her only grandchild. She meant the world to me. I meant the world to her. And it feels like a sweet full circle moment to get to be with my aunt as she passes. And it's being in recovery. It's not being a slave to food addiction or to any addiction that allows me to be someone who can show up for people. And so that means taking care of myself on this trip. I have an Airbnb and I have my meditation bench with me and I have my food taken care of. I'm not playing catch as catch can with the food. I have my food packed each day when I arrive to spend the day by her bedside. So it's a different kind of non-scale victory. We talk about NSVs in our community, or non-scale victories, but I think it's one of the biggest ones, to be someone that others can count on, to be someone who can show up for life when it matters. And that's what I'm doing this week. That's the weekly vlog. I love you. I'll see you next week.